Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on Outside with Jeff. If you're having issues with blossom end rot or BER on your tomatoes, it is either one of two things. It's either a calcium deficiency in your soil or irregular watering. Now, if you have adequate calcium in your soil, but you have inadequate watering or not consistent watering, the tomato plant is not going to be able to access the calcium that's in the soil because the tomato plant relies on the water cycle or the water in the soil to grab onto that calcium, and then the plant uptakes it through the roots. So the way to resolve this issue is you can take Tums. You can take a bunch of Tums, I would say half a canister of Tums, crush them up, mix them in a 5-gallon bucket of water, and you can water your plants with that. Now what I do personally, because I haven't suffered from blossom end rot in about 12 years, is I take all my eggshells and I incorporate them into my soil. Now this is not going to be a fast acting solution, so if you have a problem right now, you want to use Tums and water, and that's going to kickstart your calcium uptake to your tomatoes. But for a long-term solution, you want to start taking your eggshells, crushing them up, and adding them to your garden. It's going to take multiple seasons for all that calcium to be available to your tomatoes, but if you keep adding the eggshells to your garden, eventually you're going to have such a calcium rich soil that you're never going to suffer from blossom end rot again. Now, blossom end rot is most common in tomatoes, but it's also prevalent in peppers. And if anyone has grown peppers, you know it takes a lot of time to get peppers, and you don't want to lose them to something as simple as a fix as your calcium deficiency. So I recommend, like I said, in the short-term fix, take about half a package of Tums or some other calcium antacid, crush them up, mix them with about 5 gallons of water, and give them a good drink. Also be sure you're consistently watering your tomatoes. Make sure that soil is staying good and moist so that the roots are able to uptake the calcium that's available in your soil. And like I said, for a longer term solution, you also want to be incorporating eggshells into your soil. Now you can just crush them up, sprinkle them on the top each time it rains or each time you water. A little bit of that calcium is going to leach into your soil, slowly building your calcium bank that your peppers and tomatoes will be able to access. So if you have any of the problems, I've seen some people using a milk solution, but I do not recommend that, because then you have milk in your garden. Milk does not belong in your garden. I know milk is rich in calcium as far as you drinking it, but I do not recommend putting a dairy product at the base of your plants. It's going to invite pests and other issues. So stick to some Tums or some other type of calcium antacid and eggshells, and you will see a noticeable improvement in your tomatoes. You can also use a calcium nitrate fertilizer. It'll do the same thing. The calcium nitrate fertilizer is going to be a lot more costly. So if you're looking for a cost-effective way, I recommend an antacid and calcium eggshells. I hope this is helpful in your gardening, and I hope that you can get rid of your blossom end rot so that you can enjoy your harvest. Have a great day from my garden to yours.